Good morning, it's Leanne Peters here. I'm from templeofbalance.com.au, Temple of Balance on Facebook and Temple of Balance on YouTube. And I'm here to pull some cards and share some guidance for this week ahead. That's this week starting Monday the 24th of January through till Sunday the 30th of January 2022. So it's not quite so glaring today, but I am out here super early. So while you're coming over, welcome. I'm coming to you live from Tasmania, Australia, where it is Monday the 24th of January here, and the time is exactly 7:02 a.m. So I was up very early this morning, which I like. I love being up early and getting started with things, especially on a Monday. It's fantastic. So it's my real pleasure to be here connecting with you. So I want to send out an extra special welcome to my Temple of Balance patrons, my Pillar of Light family, and all of those of you who support my work through my website. Thank you so much for your support. So what I'm going to be doing today, if you're new to watching, is I'm going to be using my combined deck of cards here, which is 55 Animal Kingdom Oracle cards and 55 Speed of Light Oracle cards. These have been combined together to make a fantastic 110 card deck. So I'll be using this deck to find the best cards for this week ahead. I'll be laying them down here beside me and I'll share the cards that come up. So I'm not pulling cards for individuals. I do trust that you've been led here for a reason, and I trust that something shared will support you. I'm thinking of connecting with what the majority of us need when I do these types of readings and connections. Please take on board what feels right, what resonates, and what fits into your life easily at this time, and let the rest go. Oh, we're getting a visitor. We're coming to say hello to our friends. Come on. Here's Miss Puss. We're up early. She was up early with me at 4:30, and we saw Venus, didn't we, rising just before the sun. It's been great. So she's loves sitting down here listening to me do readings, don't you? So let's see what the cards say. So while I'm shuffling, a recap on last week. Our theme card last week was the cheetah, and the cheetah is reminding us to focus on our strengths. So especially the things that feel strong to us is what I've noticed now moving through the week. The things that feel strong and the things that excite, especially for me, seem to be absolutely what led me last week. So I don't know how you went and flowed last week. But we're into a new week now. So let's see what the cards have to say. So take a nice big breath, and I'll hold the intention now to find the best cards for this week ahead, starting Monday the 24th of January through till Sunday the 30th of January 2022. So what do we need to know for this week ahead, the majority of us? Okay, so the best cards for this week are these, and I'm going to lay them face down here in a rainbow arc shape. All Speed of Light, and then we've got 2 Animal Kingdom at the bottom. So it's a bit like a rainbow of Speed of Light. We've got 6 of them, and then 2 Animal Kingdom at the bottom. The Animal Kingdom are like the mountain or the hill, and the rainbow over the top. That's what it feels like. Let's turn these over, see what we've got. And welcome Janie, and Donna is here, welcome. Okay. All right, no featured cards, which is fine. So I can put the rest of my deck aside. And we're going to start talking about the week with this card, card 47. It's the owl, and it's called Persistence. It says patience, solution, question, answer, and night. So there is a feeling here that we're being reminded early in the week to be patient and to be persistent. So now is not the time to give up on something, and maybe we've had a renewed clarity on something we were prepared to shelve or close the door on last week. And we may have found that we can't quite close the door for some reason. There's still something for us to do here. There's still something for us to open. There's still a potential or something that exists within the possibility of something that hovers right now. So we might have had the feeling, we may have even decided to stop, to close the door, to not proceed. But we can't shake the feeling that there's something more here. So I wouldn't be surprised if some of us are feeling like we need to revisit something that we've decided to sort of close the door on recently, but we can't close the door on it. There is something more that needs to be discovered or explored or communicated. So the beginning of the week, let's be patient, let's be persistent. A solution, or we could say clarity, is coming if we don't feel it quite yet. So let's keep our dream alive. This owl is sitting in a dream catcher. So let's keep our dream alive. Let's not give up on it quite yet. So that's early in the week. Also early in the week, so probably not quite Monday, but it could be later Monday and into Tuesday. We have card 14. This is not surprising because this is very much the energy around last week, and it seems like this week coming up as well. It's the Eagle's Nest, card 14. It says preparation, home, waiting, and soon. Our time of waiting will soon be over. So a lot of us are in preparation mode, and I talked about that just now in the current energy report, about being in preparation mode. So our decluttering and clearing and purging we've been doing for the last couple of weeks, probably some of us. Actually, the bigger picture of that is that we're preparing for something. We're making space and room for something in our life or for something within ourselves. We could be preparing for a new relationship or a change in the home, a change in the workplace. So there is something that we're preparing for, even though it may not exactly feel like preparation. We might not be packing boxes ready to move, but we may be clearing things before we pack the boxes and prepare to move. So there is this pre-step, I suppose, a pre-preparation of this big purging and clearing that a lot of us are going through. So there are likely changes in the home too for some of us at the moment, especially early in the week or perhaps ongoing right now. And we've been encouraged to use our time of waiting to prepare. So how could you prepare during your time of waiting? If things aren't happening for you, what can you do in the meantime? How can you use your waiting time to your advantage? So that's also early this week. We could overlap that into Monday, but it feels like it may be sort of the first half of the week. Then we move into the hump. So over Wednesday and Thursday, and we have expression, card 31. I don't think we've seen this for a while. It says communication, listen, share, deliver, and trust. So there's going to be something really important around midweek about communication, about listening, and also delivering the truth or delivering how we feel to others as clearly and openly as we can. So this will probably make more sense as we get through the week. But what do we have to say? What do we feel? What is our truth? What do we need to deliver? What do we need to listen to? Maybe we're talking too much lately. So maybe we need to zip it and listen and see and hear what other people are trying to say that we may not be noticing. So communication's really important midweek. And actually from that and around that communication energy, we've got scattered, card 13, and it says overwhelm, confusion, concentrate, and plan. So this is an unruly, scattered, uncertain, bit crazy, wild energy that's stirring up. It's not surprising to me that this comes up with the communication card, because communications can feel like this, because, you know, sometimes when we're doing things in our life, when we're sort of organising or we're doing it. It's, I don't know, there's just one person usually involved or sometimes involved. But when we're dealing with communications, and because our perspective, our perceptions can also taint what we're hearing or what we're trying to say. You know, we might speak something quite innocently, but it be taken the wrong way, or vice versa. So communication can be a bit of a tricky scenario or energy to be a part of. So it doesn't feel surprising to me that we have the scattered card, where things feel a little wild, a bit like a windy storm coming in around midweek, likely linked in or whipping up even perhaps communication issues around that midweek. But there's also something great about this card, and it shows that there's something new that's trying to come in. These feel like tentacles, even though it feels like it's whipping up energy, or it's scattering and stirring things up that may have become settled, or maybe we've become too comfortable with something. So something feels like it's whipping up, which may make us feel a bit scattered or unsettled. But it feels like these energies that are whipping up, these arms almost in this card, that they're leading us to other places. So there is something new and raw and unmanifest about this energy too. So it's a bit like it's bringing in a blank canvas for us to create on, or build our life upon, or build aspects of our life upon. So something's changing. There is a change in the air, and we may feel, or we may even project it through our communications onto others. You know, our fear of change in this area of our life may funnel through as agitation that we take out on this other person, for example. So we might find a link up between communication or communication issues and the changes that are unsettling us at the moment. So let's try not to take that unsettling out on others, but let's see how we can communicate more clearly with ourselves, so we can understand what we're feeling in this situation, or what we're afraid of in this potential change that's around us or in the air at the moment. So to help us get through that sort of hurdle, that hiccup we might experience around midweek, is to create a doable plan, but especially a plan that just helps us get through our day. So we might have a big to-do list. We might cut it down to a quarter over Wednesday and Thursday, because things may just be a little bit too intense or a little bit too much for us in general over those days. So if we can just do the necessities, what's really important to get through our day, then we can tend to the other things on our to-do list later. We may also be confused about something, how we really feel about something or someone. So there is just a bit of a uncomfortable, unruly, bit of a scattered feeling potentially around midweek. But then things shift. So it feels, as we get through Wednesday and Thursday, there's a shift on these, and we shift in a new direction. We've got Delegate coming up next, which is card 28. I feel like I'm talking really quickly. I think the energy's coming through fast. So I'll try and slow down, because I know my accent can be difficult for some to grasp. Although I don't have an accent to me. But this is card 28, Delegate. And it says ask, plan, organise and assistance. Now the other card doesn't say organise, but it has a feeling that it's connected here. So what we've been encouraged to do, especially around Friday, or as we move out of Thursday, and into Friday, what are we feeling pressured by? That's the highlight, tends to be the highlight with this card. What have we been feeling pressured by or stressed about? And what can we do to lighten our load? So for some of us, it might be to delegate chores or tasks. It may be to organise ourselves. Maybe we need a list. I work a lot with lists. I have lists going everywhere. But it helps me stay focused and helps me get things done. It helps me not procrastinate, because if I feel procrastination kick in, or if I've got 5 minutes and I'm just wasting time, right, go to the to-do list. It helps me stay focused. So maybe for some of us, especially the end of Thursday into Friday, maybe we're revisiting a to-do list, or creating a plan, or getting ourselves a bit more organised, so that we can harness our energy better instead of wandering around aimlessly, procrastinating a lot and not really getting a lot productively done. Doesn't mean we have to be busy all the time, but using our time well is the feeling here. So also, if we need to ask for help, there is that sort of flag that's going up as well. The end of Thursday and into Friday, maybe we need to put out a call or ask someone, can you please help me because I'm struggling right now. But the primary part about or aspect of this card is about the pressure that we feel that we're under. It could be pressure from external sources, but usually it's pressure we're putting onto ourselves. So where are you putting pressure on yourself, and how can you lighten that or help reduce that so you can harness your energy in a different and maybe more productive way? So that's going into Friday. And then we've also got Friday here is the Wolf. And the Wolf this is card 44. This is for the 28th of January. And it says instincts, moon, cycles, flow, and trust. So this talks about cycles, which we could say is another word for change. So cycles are at play at the moment, and especially on Friday, but it's unlikely to just be Friday. Although this card feels important for Friday, it feels like it arcs over more days than this. We're in a period of change now, or we could say in relation to this card, a cyclic period, where we're cycling into a new phase and out of an old phase. So in other words, we could say a door is closing in our life and a new door is preparing to open. And it almost feels like we're in a revolving door. You know, maybe we're preparing to walk into the revolving area and then walk out of that old door and into the new door and wherever that's going to take us. It doesn't feel necessary, although it may for some be the case, that this is all going to happen on Friday. It feels like it's a process or a larger arcing cycle of moving through from one door to another through this revolving door. And then we've got to wait for things to turn, we've got to wait for things to settle before we can walk through the door, or we're lined up with it, isn't it? So let's trust our instincts and the flow as we move through this particular cycle in our life. And this may be especially important for us to think about on Friday. How are we trusting that flow and those instincts of ours? Our instincts and our intuition. Okay, so this takes us now up to the weekend. We've got two cards for the weekend, and I'm going to bring them both up at once. For Saturday and Sunday, the weekend in general. We have the Owls, observation, and the Echidna, don't dwell on the details. So before I get into the cards, let's just talk about the card itself. 35, Owls, the power of observation. And 19, the Echidna, don't dwell on the details. So we're being encouraged, and we might find on the weekend in general that we're in observation mode. So this can be really interesting. You know, we might be okay to wait. We might be feeling patient over the weekend. We might be biding our time or filling in this waiting time, using the time wisely while we wait, while we observe, waiting for the green light to turn on. And that's what we're waiting for in this card. This is about almost waiting, but not impatiently, just observing until when that green light turns on, then we're ready to go. We're ready to take the action that needs to be taken. So this doesn't mean not taking action. It just means waiting for the right moment to take the action. So observing, waiting for the light to go from red to green. And as soon as it hits green, off we fly, off we go. So that feeling around for the weekend. And it comes with the Echidna. So the Echidna, don't dwell on the details. It's not time this weekend to stop and dig up the dirt and all the unnecessary nitty-gritty details that are not important. So if we find ourselves spending our time and attention focusing and honing in on things that as you know, like stirring a hornet's nest, we can ask ourselves, is this really appropriate? Is this something that we need to be digging up right now? Because the chances are it's not. Because the echidna is more about keeping on going. So there is an endurance feeling instead of stopping, sometimes as an excuse or a distraction, that we distract ourselves with the details, with the nitty-gritty fear or what other people might be thinking or judging us on. These things that are just not important in the big scheme of things. So let's not stop and dwell on these things, but find the energy and the focus that we need to keep going and to endure the long marathon rather than the sprint. So this feels, yeah, I mean, obviously there are details that are important, and I'm not saying avoid all details, but let's make sure we're not stopping and dwelling and digging up unnecessary details and dirt this weekend. So let's keep going and let's use our power of observation. So it feels quite like a lot of self-control actually this weekend. Self-control not to pounce early. Self-control not to prematurely go for the green light before it turns on. You know, like we're sitting at the lights with our car and we prematurely guess that the green light's about to turn on, so we put our foot on the accelerator, but the green light doesn't turn on till we're partway through the intersection. So let's not prematurely assume that the green light has turned on or is about to turn on. Let's wait till we get it and then take action. So a lot of self-control this weekend. That's the feeling. So I trust that resonates. We won't know until we get to the weekend and we live through the week. So see how it fits and resonates with you. So thank you. Thanks for joining me. I am going to pull a theme card in just a minute. Before I do, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. If you have enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button. Please show us some love. Please comment or share if you're inspired to. And if you would love to connect more privately, please send us a message through our website. Thank you for being here and thanks for all your comments. I will read your comments when I get back onto my computer shortly. If you would love to learn more about me and the work I do at Temple of Balance, if you want to learn more about my card decks that I created or my pendants, I've got an online art class coming up in February, mid-February, and our next card reading club session, which was so much fun last week when we did our first card reading club session about interpretation. That was so much fun, so I can't wait to connect with you again next month if you're inspired to come along. So you can learn about these things and all the things I offer at templeofbalance.com.au. So let's see, what is our best theme card for this week? So the theme card will help us see the bigger picture for this week and also tie these days together. What is the overall theme, the bigger picture? It's good to look for the bigger picture in a lot of things in our life. So not only do I find this helpful for reading in this way, but also hopefully because you maybe regularly view these and hear me talking about the bigger picture, hopefully it helps encourage you to sometimes step back and look at the bigger picture here. Because sometimes we can't see the forest for the trees, can we? So it's a perspective thing. So the theme will help us give perspective of this week, but also the bigger picture helps give us perspective in our life. So if you can't see the forest for the trees right now, maybe step back, take a break, and look at this from a different angle, a different perspective. So the best card for our theme for this week, the 24th to the 30th of January, is this card. It's a speed of light, and it's this here. Purification, card 8. Okay, this is hot at the moment. It was hot last week. It continues to be hot. Purification. It says cleanse, detoxification, and toxins. So this is the decluttering, this is the purging, this is the cleaning, the clearing, the spring cleaning. This is clearing the clutter from our home, our room, vehicle, if we have a vehicle, our space, but also our social media perhaps, our phone or our devices that we're using often. What's becoming cluttered? What's becoming too much? What is putting us under extra stress or pressure that is not necessary? Like for me, I don't really like using my phone. I use it because I have to. Whoops! Speaking of phone, but I choose to have no notifications on. I don't want to be tinged or twanged or whatever. Every time someone does something or likes something that I do, like I've got other things to do. So part of my boundaries as well is that I choose not to have notifications on at all. I will go and visit pages and posts and things when I have the time and when I'm ready to deal with comments and interactions then. I don't have email on my phone. So there are a lot of boundaries I have because I need time to create, basically. So are there things on your device or in your life that are distracting you, that are taking away your power, cluttering up your energy, and taking up your time and attention? Are you tripping? What are you tripping over in your life? Maybe literally or energetically. It could be clearing out our schedule, because as we are changing, our priorities change. When our priorities change, our schedule will also require assessment. So for me, I'm changing and growing all the time because of my choice to do so. So every month, at least monthly, I am checking and updating my schedule, my priorities, and really looking at how I spend my time. Because it's really important to me. Our time and how we spend it is extremely valuable. We're not going to get those minutes back. So I don't want to spend even 5 minutes procrastinating. So I have to always be aware of and be reassessing these types of things, the things that drain my energy. So what requires purging for you this week? Maybe you've already started it. Maybe you've been thinking about it. So the energy will be favourable to act on that this week. We're clearing our space for something. Some of us know what that something is, and some of us, most of us, don't. But there is a big preparation at the moment in cleansing and decluttering and clearing and really creating space in our life, in our surroundings, within ourselves, maybe within our devices too. So if you've been already feeling this, then hopefully this will help prompt you to action this week if you need to. But yeah, thinking about also as things come up this week, let's not hold on, especially communication, tension, overwhelmed, scattered energy potentially around midweek. Let's be careful we don't hold on or take things too personally, that we let the energy move, just like we're standing under a shower and letting the water run off over us. Let's see if we can let that energy run off and over. Let's not blow things out of proportion this week, especially around midweek. So our theme, purification. Also, some of us may need to detox in our body. Maybe we've been feeling heavy and uncomfortable in our body. And that's a personal thing. So if you've been feeling heavy and lethargic and uncomfortable in your body, then you have the power to look at what you're eating and consuming. Maybe go on a bit of a detox to reset your body, give your body a break from sugars or unhealthy foods, and reset your body a bit so that you can start feeling better in yourself. Because we need to feel reasonably good and healthy in our body to be able to proceed with certain things in our life. So our body's care is really important. So thank you so much for joining me today and hanging around. And have a fantastic week ahead. Happy birthday, happy anniversary if you're celebrating. And take care of yourself. I will see you maybe through the week, but definitely next week for the weekly guidance. Take care and send you loads of love from my heart to yours. Namaste. beautiful actually. I had a big phoenix cloud this morning. I shared it on my Instagram and Facebook, Temple of Balance. Amazing. There's big phoenix in the sky. It feels so nice to be out here right now with the sun just coming up. So, yeah, thank you. Have a great day. I'll see you soon.